Well, good morning. Today's Friday, the 17th of May, I guess it is. So today's going to be a big day where all of this scaffold that I've got put up all over the place, bus backing out there, get this stuff all ripped off, taken down. We'll see how easily it comes off. Who knows? You can also see right here, I've got one of the wind turbines half mounted onto the post, which is hinged right up underneath the brow, which I'll bring up, and you can see way up there, I've got a piece of angle iron that'll mount the top end of that post, which will hold it in place. I've got the wires run in for this wind turbine already. They're just sitting up inside. Then you can see the other post here for this side for the second wind turbine. We'll get that in, and of course all this scaffold will be gone as well today, I hope. Another piece of angle iron way up there on the top of the roof I've got bolted down with 4 bolts to hold it steady. So that'll be nice to have all this stuff finally removed to get working around it. The solar panels, I've got some of those hooked up now as well. So I ran out of wire, but you can see up here where I've got all the connections done for the series parallel for the panels. So here on the starboard side, I've got the first 2 in series, the second 2 in series, and then together those are in parallel. Here on the port side, same thing, series and series, series and series, parallel for the pair. And the 4 that are up here, same thing, and those are the ones that I've got live now, so I've got those connected. And here on the side of the radar arch, you can see all the pairs I've got set together. We're bringing them all down. And one thing I found to my surprise is that they use the red connections of the solar panels on these things. Why they built them like that, I don't know. The red is negative. So, well, that's kind of interesting. So it's a good thing I did a voltage check. So you can see right here where I switch from yellow to red because the yellow is positive on these things coming off. Who would have known that? So I've got those hooked up through, and down here into the salon, I've got a place where I've connected all of the charge controllers. So you can see the very first one there, the little blue light is on to show that it's in bulk charge. So it's 115 volts DC coming out of the photovoltaic, and then of course coming out is the 48 volts. All those are connected down, and then you go way down here. Of course, I've got everything bonded, grounded, whichever term you want to use. So this one and this one, the next 2 will be hooked up for the ones that are over the sun deck and get those going. The really cool thing is that I didn't realize electricity can be free. So you can see here on the port engine controller, which is the shunt that goes through for all the battery through the main bus. I got 7.5 amps coming through on the port, 10 amps here on the starboard, and they are charging the batteries beautifully. I got 2 fridges running, electric hot water I don't have turned on right now, but in the end, I'm getting a net positive off of just 4 panels, which is really cool. So once I get the other 8 hooked up, it'll be interesting to see how much power I get coming out here in the positive. So just as a little experiment, let me turn on the hot water. So this is electric hot water, so it's a 1,000 watt element. So you can see I'm now in the negative 2.4 amps, and on the starboard side it's around 0. So those solar panels up there are actually heating the hot water, give or take an amp, without any other input, which is really kind of neat. So that's all at 48 volts, of course, so I don't turn that on until I need it. As I've probably mentioned before, I really need to get rid of that big hot water tank that's way down there, that 11 gallon, get in like a 2.5 gallon electric, something much smaller. Or I do have an on-demand gas, a propane hot water there that somebody gave me that I might hook up, who knows. So we'll give that a shot. And there's my second fridge, which can be done as a fridge or a freezer. Works really well, running off of 12 volts. So we'll see how much juice we get out of all this stuff, but it's quite exciting to see this. I've never hooked up solar panels before, so to see this come through is very interesting to me. So we'll see what gives as we hook it up more and get the other ones going, and see how much juice we can get out of this thing, and wish me luck getting all this scaffold down. You can see it up from here in the salon as well, and we'll get that done. And the salon is still a disaster. Everything is everywhere, and these are the blades for the wind turbine. It's got to go on, but I won't put those on yet until I'm ready to go. And I've got the wind turbines figured out with a post so that I can just take them and drop them down over the bow. So that way, if I've got to go underneath something low, because they're going to be sticking up about 6.5 feet above the flybridge, above the ceiling up there. So that'll give me a lot of savings for height. So I should get myself down to 17 feet when I do that. So let's see how the day goes and get this all done. And we'll talk to you again soon.